Hello, Indonesia. We are scientists. Check out our interview on CreativeDisc.com, the #1 music website in Indo.
Hello, Sea Lovers! Welcome back to another Creative Disc exclusive interview with me, Luthfi, and today's guest is a senior indie rock band who's got into this music scene for more than 20 years. Wow! And they still releasing new music. And currently they on album 8. Like, whoa! And who's named this album called Happy? And fun fact, their song "After Hours" really helped me navigating my life in junior high school years. Like, man, "After Hours" and "Impatient" is so my soundtrack during my junior high school years. Yeah. Woo! So, without further ado, please welcome my guest today. This is Kate Murray from We Are Scientists. Yay!
Hello.
How's it going? How are you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm not too bad.
Ooh, so what kind of activity that you are doing recently?
Oh, well, I just went to the Caribbean island, St. Bart, for the first time. Had a weekend in the Caribbean, and it was pretty spectacular. I've been living in Miami for the last year, and I thought that the beaches in Florida were pretty nice. No, the Caribbean kicks Miami's butt. I'm sorry to say, but that's the sort of activity I've been up to. Just hanging out on the beach, drinking tropical cocktails.
Ooh. So, is it like? Do you feel like refreshing after you go to the beach, because this pandemic is too long? Like we have been locked down for maybe like 1.5 years, I guess. Like, and finally you've got to the beach. Like, it's kind of refreshing to you, I think.
It is. I mean, we were relatively fortunate in the pandemic because we started recording the record just as everything shut down, and making a record under ordinary circumstances is sort of like being quarantined. Like you're in a studio, you're not talking to anybody else. All you're doing is looking at a screen and playing your instrument and drinking a lot. So for us, it wasn't that different. But then once we finished making the record, I wanted to go out and celebrate, but I was not allowed to. So it is nice to finally be able to go to a beach and enjoy a little beverage.
Ooh. So let's talk about your newest album called Happy. So tell me more about it.
Well, it's the first record that we've produced by ourselves, and I think it's not a coincidence that it's a very energetic, very danceable, exciting record. It's a lot of fun. I think there are a lot of hooks coming at you all the time, this way, that way, over, through. But it's the most fun I've ever had making a record, and I think you can hear that in the record itself.
After making like 8 albums, why do you decide that this album is produced by yourself? We Are Scientists, and this is gonna be a fun and exploding album. It's like a great. I already listened to this album, and wow, it's so different. I think it's like kind of laid back into your early recording, like in your first and second album. I think the excitement of it, I think. But why now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we decided to produce it ourselves now, just because we've made 7 records, and so and the whole time we've been doing that, we've sort of been very slowly learning how to make a record for ourselves. I think we always wanted to have a producer there to be a third party to say, oh, this isn't good enough, or you should change this song this way. I think it took us this long to finally say, you know what, I think we understand what We Are Scientists' voice is, and we're probably now the best people to communicate that. So I think we just felt it was time to like try to see what would happen if we made a record without someone else judging what was good or what wasn't good. And I think part of the reason why it's so energetic is that we were very nervous about that. So we spent a lot of time making sure that everything was as exciting as possible. And we didn't want to deliver. You don't want to produce your own record and have it be terrible. So we definitely made sure that it was a very exciting record.
But the result is pretty awesome because I like the track Contact High. Like it kind of sucked me into the 2008 post-punk again. Like I feel young again. Hearing this record, honestly, making me feel young again. Like making me feel like a junior high school kids again.
Amazing.
Yeah. Because I want to ask something like I found About Myself a Grave is a unique track because you put acoustic and mellow things, but suddenly it goes harder and experimental toward the song. Like what do you think about that song? Oh my god! Like is this real?
Yeah, I mean that song, it started out when we first wrote the song. It was only that acoustic part, and we really liked that little bit, but we didn't feel like it was quite enough. And we just got very excited, and again, remember, this is the first time there wasn't a producer in the room to say, you guys can't do that. So we're like, well, nobody's going to tell us no when we decide to make it an electronic dance track. I think we just got very excited about making it as psychotic as possible. And that's what we did.
So, can you recall your moment a little bit about Jakarta? Because you go there, it's a long time ago. I think it's like almost 10 years ago. Can you recall the moment a little bit?
Yeah, we, I think it was 2009 that we were in Jakarta. Maybe 2010. And to be honest, we didn't get to see too much of Jakarta. We were only there for 2 days.
Oh.
And we played a festival.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're owed a little more time in Jakarta.
Yeah,
we didn't really get to like travel around the city and really get to see it. But it's still one of the trips we talk about the most. We went to Jakarta and then to Bali and played shows in both places. And it's one of the most fun trips we've ever had as a band.
Ooh, thank you.
And I demand that we go back.
Yeah. I hope this getting better and you can come back into here.
I would love that.
Yeah.
If you can make that happen, please help us.
Ooh, amen. So it's interesting because you are 11 years release your album independently. So what's the challenge for the first time when you are going to the major label and you are right now until now, I think, releasing your work independently?
I mean, so we only made only our second record, Brain Thrust Mastery, was made with a major label as part of the recording process. And it was a real pain in the butt.
Ooh.
There were too many people having too many ideas. And I really love that record, but it was a very stressful record to make. And I think the thing we like about independent labels is that they work with us because they trust us. And so they just say, give us the record you would like to put out and we'll put that record out. and I, I personally, maybe some artists don't, but I still feel like an obligation to give them a record that they will also like. So I'm never thinking, oh, I'm just gonna be the most self-indulgent fool of all time. But they trust us to do whatever we want, and it's a cool situation. We've been putting records out. I think this is our 4th record with our label in the UK, who are called 100%, and they're just really good friends of ours now. They kind of trust whatever we want to do. They're big fans of our band, which helps. I think they're always excited to hear the record when we turn it in. And they're really smart people. So I think it's like, I think it's a good situation. And look, I liked being on a major label as well. It was a very different vibe. People would get fired and hired all the time. We didn't really know who was ever going to be working there.
Yes.
But the thing that's nice about working with independent labels is that they especially the label we work with, feel like part of the band almost. Like, they're people we've known now for 10 years. I think we know what each other want out of our relationship. It's like a good long marriage, I would say.
So, speaking about the marriage, I think you've married with the band the more than 20 years. So, tell me the secret recipe to keep the band together. Like man, it's almost 20 years. When I've got this interview for We Are Scientists, like, oh wow, okay, I still hear them in the junior high school, and I've got this interview. What's the secret recipe to keep your band together, keep the marriage of this band together like 20 years?
I think the secret is that we're friends more than we are a band. Like the reason that we're a good band is that we're friends first. Like I don't know. When we go on tour, we'll be on, Chris and I will go on tour for 2 or 3 months, and we'll get back to New York City, and 2 days later I'll call Chris up and be like, yo man, what are you doing? You want to go for a drink? And I think that is the key, is like, I think we think of the band as something we do together, not as the reason we're together, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
If he and I ever got in a big fight, the band would break up. Whereas I know, many bands where the people in the band don't really like each other, but they make music that they like together, and that's what keeps them together. That seems like a terrible way to work for me, but I can say that because I'm in a band with a guy that I would hang out with every single day of my life. If I were allowed to, I'm not allowed to.
I think like it's great because this is like you've got the pressure coming from you, and you tour around the world. There's a big fight. There's like maybe like a big fight, big pressure to do something, big pressure to make like something new. Maybe like it's kind of a lot. It's kind of great to 20 years to keeping up together. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is that we've known each other for so long that we don't. I think we just don't think of each other in the context of We Are Scientists. I think we feel, like you said, married together because of the band. But when I think of Chris, I don't really think of making music with him. I think of all the times we hang out together and like all the trips we've taken together. And I think of like the really terrible places we lived as roommates when we graduated from university and stuff. So I think, I think our relationship is like, We Are Scientists is a huge part of it, but it's not I think We Are Scientists is part of our friendship. Our friendship is not part of We Are Scientists.
Oh my God, that's a lot. Thank you very much, Kate. Kate, thank you very much for this interview. I adore your work since your second album.
Thank you very much.
Right now, Hafi is your very, very best work that I ever heard. Yeah. Hafi is the best work. How? Yeah, because it's so different and it's so like it takes me back to your classic era. So
thanks very much.
Yeah. So this is our interview with Kate Murray from We Are Scientists. So thank you very much, Kate, for your time. Woo! Thank you. I'm Luthfi from CreativeDisc signing out, CD lovers. See you on another exclusive interview. Bye-bye.